welcome to my first Halloween build. The first of what I hope to be many Halloween builds. About a week or so ago, watching some videos on YouTube, and Chris at Classic Plastic was doing his Morticia Adams build for the Cancer Awareness Group build. And he had mentioned that he was going to be taking a break from that in order to do a Halloween build. And it kind of got me thinking for a little bit, and I didn't think I had anything. Lo and behold, really, there was some stuff in my stash, but that's another story. But anyway, I had made a trip out later that week to my local hobby shop, get some stuff. And as I was perusing the aisles, I came across all the Aurora kits, and I usually stop and I look at them. I always wanted to build one or two, and they kind of interest me, but then part of me backs off. And then it dawned on me about the Halloween build that Chris had mentioned. So I decided, you know what, I think now's my opportunity to build one of these old kits. And at the time, I picked up the Dark Shadows Barnabas kit. I can't think of what it was off the top of my head that made me pick it up. It was just, maybe it was the size, I don't know. So I picked it up and I brought it home and thought it was pretty cool. And lo and behold, when I was going through the videos again, I came across Chris's entry video into the Halloween special for 2014, and lo and behold, he was building the Barnabas kit. So I didn't want to step on his toes. I know there's plenty to go around, but I just kind of felt awkward about it, so I decided to back off on that. But you know, after watching his video and seeing that there was a theme going with the Dark Shadows, that I decided I'd toss aside the Barnabas kit and go with the Werewolf kit. I figured that would be a nice, you know, I think that brings all three kits of the series into play for this Halloween. I thought it'd be pretty cool. To be honest, I've never heard anything good about this kit. It's, you know, this is a very, very old kit. Sorry about that, the dog was barking to come in. As I was saying, while this is a repop, it's brand new. The molds are of the original kit. These are the original molds. They just repopped it. The kit's originally from MPC down there, but now it's been put out by Round 2. It's got your typical classic look to it. To be honest with you, I was never really a fan of Dark Shadows. I just it didn't get it. It was just god awful to me. You know, I remember watching it every now and then, and it was god awful. It always, you know, I don't mind black and white. I grew up with black and white TV, so that's not the issue. But it always seemed like it was fuzzy and hazy, and it was so monotoned, and it was horrible. And then some years later, when I met the woman I've been with for a while now, we ran across one day years ago a channel was rerunning Dark Shadows, and she had told me how her and her sister used to love the show, used to watch it, and it used to scare the hell out of them, and this, that, and the other thing. And so, wanting to stay, or trying to create something there, I decided I'd take her interest and tried watching it again. And yeah, it was still god awful. Just didn't get it. Just ugh. That said, I did like the movie. It's not an Academy Award-winning movie by no means, but I enjoyed it. It was funny. It kept me entertained, you know. But anyway, like I said, I just decided to stick with this because it seemed to be the theme this year. Inadvertently, it's the theme. So I wanted to do it, and it looks like it could be a fun kit anyway. like I said, it's got the classic box art to it. You know, it's got glow-in-the-dark parts. You know, on the side it gives you the features of the kit. You know, it's got all kinds of different features on here. It glows in the dark. It's got flexible arms with ball joints. It should be about 8 inches high when it's done, so it's going to be a respectable model when it's done. It's got rats and lizards. I mean, what kit isn't complete without rats and lizards? I'm kind of jacked up on that. It's got a cobblestone base, realistic features, grotesque tree stump. So we're going to quantify the tree, go figure. But anyway, whatever sells. I didn't get it for the glow-in-the-dark parts. I most likely will not be doing the glow-in-the-dark parts. Also, the articulating arms, I probably won't be doing those either. I'm going to try to find a decent position for his arms, because really, I mean, the drawing looks pretty good, but the kits that I've seen built online, the arms just look kind of goofy, so I'm going to have to play around, find what position looks good, and we're going to lock it in at that. You know, it tells you more on the side. It's got bendable arms, create hundreds of eerie moods. Again, he glows. And in the back, it gives you, you know, a little bit of story about him, how he was cursed. You know, a little bit about the story. From what I learned when I originally bought the Barnabas kit, I didn't realize how awful the sculpting of the head was. And then, you know, again, going back to Chris at Classic Plastic, I realized that they made resin sculpts of these to make it more realistic. So when I bought this, not knowing what was inside, hands down, I just decided I was going to get that resin head. And that's what I did. So it came with the kit. And this, let's see if I can get this is what we got. Now that is a really decently sculpted head. It is very, very cool. Doesn't seem to be very many or any defects in it whatsoever. The detail of his teeth, the eyebrows, the hair, the ears, very cool. And the nice thing is, I don't have to worry about a seam line going. I don't have to worry about a seam line going up and over the crown. So, you know, for $11, I'm pretty happy with this. So, that's the resin head. Give me a moment here, and I'll readjust the camera, and we'll take a look at the parts inside the box. Be right back. Okay, so let's take a look inside our box here. Inside, we've got 2 parts bags of parts. I opened them to make it easier to look at. This first one is basically the extra parts. This is the glow-in-the-dark parts, okay, and his arms. And then you've got the main bag of parts here. So you have the ability, there's, you know, at a glance I could see there's this parts tree here is done twice. You've got the glow in dark, you've got it here non-glow in the dark, so you can build him either way. So let's just take a look at the main one first. Pop this stuff out. Not a lot of parts. Again, it's an old kit from the 60s, so I don't expect it to be that difficult, but there are a lot of parts. Okay. So, to start off with, we've got his body here, the back of his body. Now, I don't know what kind of fit issues are going to be. I've heard that there are fit issues. If this is anything like the Barnabas kit, which is the same company, the same time period, I assume it's going to have quite a few. But I don't know for fact yet. But I hope there isn't a lot, because there's a lot of texture in this figure right off the bat. Let's see. I mean, focus, there you go. So his shirt is pretty well textured, as you can see. Nice fold lines and wrinkles and stuff like that. I think it looks very realistic. Coming down, then you've got different texture pattern in his jeans. Okay, or his cargo pants. Really is very nice and crisp. Okay, you know, it's hard to believe that these molds are as old as they are, but this was repopped in 2011. And this is it right here, actually. 2011. So, but I mean, if this was an indication of the kit, it's pretty sharp right now. But of course, we don't know what the fit's going to be like. So, next we'll look at his front. Okay. Again, you've got very nice texture in his shirt. His t-shirt underneath has got a different texture. That's pretty neat. You got the buttons, everything is well defined. His pocket and his jeans and everything. Very well done. Like I said, I hope there's not a lot of fit issues, because it would be a shame to have to lose that detail during the filling and everything. But I'm going to probably do like I did in my Planet of the Apes kit builds, and that is using the orange glue, the tester's glue, and use that heavily along the seam, so when I push it together it globs out and acts as a filler along these seams. This way, when it's dried, I just come by and scrape that off, and it should fill in the gaps, and I won't have to use any putty, and just some light sanding should bring it all back together, hopefully. Okay, we've got, like I said before, there's parts you can't do without in any model kit. We've got a bat, we've got a rat, we've got a spider, and we got some hands. Okay, zoom in here on his hands, give you a look at the detail in it. Okay, he's got nice hairy hands, some fingernails, a little bit of flashing between the fingers here, and then you've got the ball joints. Okay, because I guess it's all posable and you can move his hands around, and that actually could be pretty good depending on how we set his arms up. We'll be able to move them around. Okay, little ejector mark in the palm, but I don't know if we'll see that. So we've got his feet. All right, hairy feet. Whoops, sorry. Got some hairy feet here, and we got his head. And actually, this is a good thing we could try real quick. Oops, damn, I'm all over the place today. Okay, if you can see how well you can see, whoops, the difference between the kit face and the resin one. All right. Kind of hard to see on the black. My light will give it a. And you can see a little bit, but by far this is a lot better piece. So we're definitely going to go with that. So that's head, feet, the back of his head. Again, you can see the hair is a lot thicker and coarser here, a lot finer and more realistic here. Okay. Actually, his ears don't even protrude like they do here. You can see, kind of see them here, but they don't stick out like this. That's just very nice. The tree they talked about. Little stubby Danny DeVito-esque tree. Okay. And a rat. More rats. Okay. Then we got the base, and we got the jig. The jig is for these metal pieces here. This will help you, I guess, somehow bend these into place to adjust the arms. I'm not going to be doing that. Put these aside before I lose them. Like I said, I'm going to find a good spot, lock them into place, and go from there. The base itself isn't terrible. I actually kind of like it in a way, but it's very small. It's just going to be on this little base. I might have to figure out something different for a base. I don't know. It's actually, you know, being Halloween time, going to Party City or even Hobby Lobby, I might be able to come up with some ideas on what I can do. You know, it'd be kind of cool if I can do something similar to what's here, here on the box. I don't know if you could see this. I noticed when I was looking at the box earlier. Up in the corner, there's some guy that's swinging. That'd be kind of cool if I can replicate this as a backdrop. So, anyway, the base is kind of small. I'll see what I can do to make that better. And then we got the parts, the glow-in-the-dark parts. Okay. He's got a glow-in-the-dark head, glow-in-the-dark feet and hands. I'm not really sure why his feet need to glow, but they do. These aren't going to be used. Same with the glow-in-the-dark bat, rat, and spiders. They're probably not going to be used either. Although maybe I'd find something to do with these for my kids. They'll get a kick out of that. And also in this bag, we've got arms. Multiple sets of arms, actually. Do all kinds of different poses. We've got four arms. So actually we can play around and figure out how we want his arms to be. That's pretty cool. Again, the texture on here matches the shirt on the other piece. And it's got the, you know, when you put the parts together, it forms a ball bearing, so you'll be able to rotate it in his shoulder and find a spot that you like. So, parts are kind of thick. For an old MPC kit, it doesn't feel like it. So, anyway, that is our Dark Shadows Werewolf kit. I still got to knock out the cancer awareness builds. I got 2 of those going, and then I got this. I'm probably going to put the one Enterprise cancer awareness build on hold for a little bit while I work on the Shelby, get that finished, because that's due in a couple days, and then we'll get started on this also because I'd like to have this done before Halloween. But yeah, that's my entry. That I believe will complete the trifecta again with the Barnabas wagon van thing that Gary is doing, and then Barnabas himself that Chris is doing, and then we got the werewolf. So kind of neat. So till next time, guys, be strong.
Says his prayers at night can change to a wolf when the wolf moon moons and the full moon shining bright.